Hi, I'm Dan Troop, the Job Search Mechanic, here with episode 9 of my Job Search video series. And today I want to talk about best practices for how you can structure your resume to effectively win your job search process. And specifically, I'm going to talk about 3 topics. Number 1, the fundamental elements of an effective resume. Number 2, resume content principles. And then lastly, resume length and structural flow. As always, before we get started, you can find all the details, the instructions, and the tools and templates on this step in the AdvantEdge Job Search Process in my book. Links to purchase the book are shown down below. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more job search videos every week. Let's get going. The number one goal in building your resume is to create a document that separates you from your competition and creates a competitive advantage. Also one that helps you land that first interview. Now, to succeed, your resume should center on 3 fundamental elements. I believe that today we're living in the golden age of content. Go ahead, pick your streaming channel, Netflix, Amazon, HBO. I think there's almost too much content to consume. Content is king, and the same applies to your resume. Now, content, as reflected in your headline on the resume, a professional summary paragraph, your skills, your accomplishments, and your career experience, they make the difference in your resume. The quality of the content that you include in your resume is going to make the difference in whether your resume lands in the interview pile, that's great news, or the rejection pile, never to be seen again, not great news. Think of your resume structure like the physical design of a house under construction. You know, where you place your contact information, your headline, that professional summary paragraph, your education and degrees, and your career experience, all of that matters. The structure and the flow of your resume enables you to market your value proposition to a potential employer for maximum competitive advantage. Now, if the structure of your resume is the architectural plan, then the format of your resume is like the interior design work for that house, for your resume. Format matters in driving the readability of your resume. An intelligent application of formatting principles can maximize the impact of your resume's first impression. Now let's talk briefly about resume content principles. This discussion could be a 1-hour video all on its own, so I'm just going to hit the highlights, and you can read all the specific details and instructions in Chapter 7 of my guidebook. Let's start with contact info. Keep it simple. Name, professional email address, your LinkedIn URL, a mobile phone number, and then state and geographic location. Then you've got the headline and the professional summary. Now, these 2 pieces of content I maintain are the billboard advertisement for your value proposition. And they should scream, hey, slow down and take a closer look at me. Your branding headline should be clear and focused on your target. Job title plus the essence of your value proposition. Then, below the headline, you've got your professional summary paragraph. And it summarizes in 3 to 4 sentences max precisely your value proposition for the targeted employer and your targeted position. There's no fluff. You pull it directly from your baseline elevator pitch and then customize it for your target. Then you've got a core qualifications section, and this section lists the most relevant hard and soft skills you possess that you've researched and know that they align closely with the target position. I recommend listing a maximum of 12 skills. Keyword optimization matters here. Then, potentially a career highlights section. If you've been in the workforce for 3 years or longer, I recommend including this section featuring the top 2 to 3 highlights from your career. Think of this content section as a greatest hits summary of your career to date. Then we get to the more traditional professional experience section. I recommend you focus on the most recent period of up to a maximum of 10 to 15 years back, where the work and the activities completed and the results were relevant to the career, to the job that you're targeting in this search. And there's an art to creating bullet points of experience in your resume. So stay tuned for episode 10, where I'll focus specifically on how to write powerful and compelling bullet points for your resume. Then, of course, you got an education section. Keep that crisp as well. Stick to institution, degree, and major or concentration. Check out my guidebook for more details on where you should place that education section, because it is determined based on where you are in your career timeline. And then lastly, an additional skills, certifications, and awards section. Only add this section if the content in there is specific and above the baseline skill set required for your target, if it helps separate you from your competition. And finally, let's talk briefly about resume length and structural flow. Everybody's got an opinion on this, and I'm no exception. There is a logical structural length for your resume based on your career tenure. The quality, breadth, and depth of your experience and skills is going to dictate your resume length. And based on that, typically I recommend a one-page resume for a recent college grad, 1 to 2 pages for early career professionals, and then a 2-page resume for mid to late career professionals. Now, drafting this effective baseline resume is a critical step, as I've said before, in executing your job search. I describe it in detail for you, along with the templates and the tools in Chapter 7 of my Job Search Guidebook, Selling You the AdvantEdge Job Search Process. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and then, of course, directly from my website. And I maintain that if you're looking for a resource to walk you step by step through your job search, including the detailed instructions and tools to use at every point along the way to landing that job offer you're seeking, then this book is a great resource for you. Be sure also to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on LinkedIn. All the links are down below. Look for episode 10 to drop next week, and thanks for watching.